ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾವತು ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. So yesterday we saw kim rupam tatvato deva shabdarashikalamayam kim va nāvātmabhedena bhairave bhairavakrito trishiro bhedabinnam kim va śaktisvarūpakam nādabindumayaṃ vāpi kim candrārdhanirodhikāḥ cakrārūḍhamanackaṃ va kim va śaktisvarūpakam. See, Devi Bhairavi, she asked her doubt is your inherent nature. Bhairave bhairavakrito, bhairava akrito, your form indeed bhairava tantras. What is that? Bhairave means in the bhairava tantras, what is your inherent form? What is the nature, your inherent nature? Is it shabdarashikalamayam? Is it of the nature of the words? Nāvātmabhedena or the 9 forms. Tirishirobhedena or the 3 forms. Śaktisvarūpakam or the 3 powers, 3 Shaktis. Nādabindumayaṃ vāpi. Now we have to start with nādabindumayaṃ. Nādabindumayaṃ. Nādabindu. These are words which are normally used in there is a song for Kartikeya Bhagavan in South India which starts with nādabindu kalati namo nama. Like that it goes. So nādabindu kaladi namo nama. Nādabindu. It's a commonly used word. That's why I said the Shaiva philosophy is what is seen in Shakta or Kaumara, etc. philosophies. Okay. Instead of Shiva, you replace him with the other deities. Now here, nādabindumayaṃ. Nāda normally means sound. And bindu means dot. This is normal meaning. But here, the meaning is different. He says nāda. What is nāda? Sarva mantra chakra samanya viryatmaka vishvavachya avibhaga prakāśa rūpa bindu. First, he explains what bindu is. Bindu is whatever mantra or whatever chakra and its power, the name, form and its strength. Mantra can be mantra, a sacred chant, or it can be name. Or chakra means it can be the 7 chakras or other chakras or the centers, or it can also mean form. Okay, so the name and form and its strength, whatever is the strength to represent the object. So vishvavachya, whatever object it represents, in that that which illumines everything without any difference, that is called as bindu. Bindu is the power that illumines all the objects. Okay. Ashesha vachaka vibhaga paramarshamayaṃ nāda. Nāda means that which is illumining all the words without any difference. Means nāda is the object, illumination of object, effulgence of illumination of object. Bindu is illumination of object. Nāda is illumination of the words. Nāda of the nature of prakāśa, effulgence, and bindu of the nature of vimarsha, means expansion. Nāda means word, from word bindu, expansion. From the word came the creation, right? So nāda means the word, bindu means the creation. That is nādabindu association. Now here nādabindumayaṃ, this is the general meaning of nādabindumayaṃ. Now is it over from with this? No. She is asking candrārdhanirodhikāḥ. Is it candrārdhanirodhika? Nādabindumaya, we have to understand nādabindu to understand candrārdhanirodhika. Why? Because the candrārdha is an extension of nādabindu state. Nāda is a state of the effulgence of word. Bindu is the state of effulgence of the object. And candrārdha is beyond that. What does that mean? See, whatever is the expanse of the nāda and bindu is a candrārdha. Okay, whatever is the expanse of the extension of nāda and bindu is what is called as a candrārdha. Here, candrārdha is explained as bindoho kinchit vācya pradhanya shantau. When the bindu is the object. Bindu, we understood it as the form, that which illuminates the form. When the power of bindu, which to illumine the object, subsides. That state is called as a candrārdha. Means name, form. When the form subsides, what will happen? From name came form. When the form subsides, back comes the name, right? That is what is the logic, and that is how it happens. But here, when the form subsides, that state is called as candrārdha. Like when you chant Om, there the Om makara in makara, everything goes and stops. That is candrārdha, the subtle state of the formless state. Okay, now this when the multiplicity of the object of knowledge, when it is lost, at that point of time, as a spashta rekatmanam, as a clear picture, as a clear outline, what you get is called as nirodhika. There is another thing, nirodhikāḥ. Nirodhika means when the object of knowledge, when they subside, when they are lost, the multiplicity of the duality of the objects are lost, then you get a clear picture. That is called as nirodhika. Means from here the yoga starts. What is yoga? Yoga chittavritti nirodha, that chittavritti nirodhika. Okay, now that object, the objectification is a subsiding. This nirodhika, see, wait, nādabindu and the higher state of nādabindu is your ardhacandra. Why do you have to start it as a second topic? You could have said nādabindu ardhacandra. Simple. So we say, true. But what happens is, this is a normal experience. When we do japa, etc., pranayama, japa, whatever sadhanas, when we do it, there is a peace, there is a happiness which we gain. In due course, this happiness, this fellow, for whatever reason, he thinks that happiness is the absolute happiness. He stops his search. So, nādabindu is the fellow who stopped the search with that happiness. And when somebody goes beyond that, then he comes to this nirodhika. Okay. And nirodhika is also not the be all end all. Even above nirodhika, there are different states of nirodhika. That is to imply that he says nirodhikāḥ, plural. The different states are said as a nādanta, vāpini, samana, unmana. What is nādanta? Nādanta. What does that mean? Nādasya shabdavyāptehe shamyamatsamatayam. See, nirodhika, we said when the multiplicity of objects, the duality of objects, when that settles, that is nirodhika. When the multiplicity, the duality of words, the sound, when that settles, that is, there is a subtle noise. That subtle noise is called as nādanta, the end of the nāda. Meaning, when you chant Om, you are completing Om. There is a vibration, kind of, right? So, I am not even talking about the vibration when you chant it physically, vocally. Mentally, even if you chant it mentally, there is a vibration. And to bring in this vibration, people do this Brahmara yoga, etc. They close their ears and mouth, etc. Like eyes, ears, mouth, they close, and then inside they will do this Brahmara yoga, they call it. Brahmara means a bee, a beetle or bee. So a sound of beetle or bee, they hear it inside. Anyway, so that's different thing. So when the sound also is subsided, then there is a silent sound that is called as a nādanta. Okay, now the object duality is gone, the sound duality is also gone. Now when that is also gone, there is a subtlety. Even when that is gone, what happens is there is a happiness. When that sound also is gone, when that the association with the japa also is gone, then there is a happiness, experience of happiness. So he says, prashanto hladātma sparshatma vyāpti hladātma sparsha vyāpti unmesha rūpa shakti saiva deha anavachedāt vyoma vyāpti asadat. What happens is when you chant or do sadhana, the name and form disappears slowly, and there is a subtlety of name and form. Then when that disappears, there is an experience of happiness, ahlada. So that experience of happiness is pervading the whole of the body. Now, when it is pervading not just the whole of body, even beyond it, it becomes a pervading, all pervading. Vyapini means all pervading. It becomes all pervading like the space, the ether. So that state is called as vyapini. When the happiness is beyond the experience of the body, that is vyapini. Now, there is an experience. So experience means that is also a limitation. So he says, samana, next stage, where there is only knowledge. Samasta bhava bhavatma vedya prashanto mananamatratmaka karāṇarūpa bodhamatra avasheshaha. That is how the commentators say. Meaning, when all the dualities of object of knowledge, object of absence, object of existence and object of absence, all these dualities, when they subside, there is no duality of even of the experience of happiness or absence of happiness, no experience. When manana matratmaka, when there is only manana does not mean a repetition of mantra, because sound is gone, the object is gone. So manana here means manu avabodhane, knowledge, of the form of knowledge. So there is no experience, there is only knowledge. That state is called as samana. Still the mind is there because it is of the form of knowledge now. Now, when we go beyond that, that stage is called as unmana. Where in samana there is duality still, in unmana there is identity of Shakti and Shiva, Shiva Shakti Aikya. The identity of individual self with the absolute self, complete dissolution of a individual self. There is only absolute self. That is called as unmana. So these are different stages which you experience. Next is cakrārūḍhamanackaṃ. She asks another question. Is it cakrārūḍha or anacka? What is cakrārūḍha? Cakrārūḍha means mātruka mantra tadvirya tat prameya mukhena vimurshya dhyaya mahamantra mukhena api bhagavadrūpam vimurshati chakra iti. What is chakra? Beautiful explanation for chakra. See, I wanted to not use these technical explanations or the commentaries and all that. I just wanted to give you the meaning of that. But these things, without reading, without understanding the essence of it, it is not of any use. Meaning, you can enjoy it even better. Matruka mantra tadvirya. Prameya mukhena. Matruka mantra. There is matruka mantra. Matruka mantra means when we say, see, matrukas are the characters. A, I, etc. Akara, dikshakarantam or akaranti, hakarantam we saw. From A to Ksha, all the alphabets. That's matruka. So when it is mantra, bija mantra, what we are referring to us. Meaning, when we take this instead of instead of in, etc. Okay, till ham, ksham. Now, this is anuloma, direct chanting. Then there is reverse chanting, which is a ksham, ham, till Okay. Now, anuloma, viloma, direct and inverse chanting. So, when you do this, that is called as Matrika mantra. The whole Tuksha is called as Matrika mantra. And Matrika mantra is chanted like this. Now, Matrika mantra, tadvirya, the strength of that Matrika mantra. Tat prameya mukhena. What is its virya? What is its strength? What is strength of chanting any mantra? Because first he starts with Matrika mantra, then he says, Dhyaya Maha Mantra Mukhenapi. Even any object of meditation, the sacred chant of meditation, does not really matter. Anything. What is the strength? Bhagavad Rupam. It leads you to the form of the Bhagavan, the Ishvara. Because Mantratmako Ishvara. Ishvara is of the form of mantra. So it leads you to the sacred chant, leads you to the sacred self, the sacred truth. Now, whichever form, whether you talk about Matrika mantra or any mantra, the end is prameya is the aprameya, that one who cannot be objectified, that Ishvara, Bhagavad Rupa. Now, that is called as chakra. Okay? Now, in this chakra, one which is established, that is called as a cakrārūḍha. Arudha means to be established. Cakrārūḍha, arudha. Arudha established in how lipidhyanena, they say the characters, focusing on the characters. When you chant the mantra, you either focus on the Ishvara, the form of the deity, or the characters. Om, Nama, Shivaya, the characters. So that is arudha, to be established in those characters, alphabets. So, anachkam. Second is anachkam. Anachkam means na ach iti anach. Means that which does not have a vowel. Then there he says nādabindumayaṃ. Nādabindumayaṃ. The easy way of interpreting is a shortcut interpretation is in the Devi mantras, there are mantras called as Hadi Vidya, Kadi Vidya, etc. So here it is talking about Hadi Vidya. Ha Kalatma means Hadi Vidya. Kala is the different sets of characters in the mantra. We are not talking about that. That is the easiest way, shortcut, but that is not the meaning. Ha Kala. See, when we were talking about Anuttara, we said it is Akula and Akala. Kala Rahita. Anachka is Akala. Anachka is Akala. So when you take the ach out, what happens is it becomes Kala. Ha Kala means ha etc. The consonants without a vowel. Consonant without a vowel. That is a Hakala. Okay, that nādabindumayaṃ, the form of the words. Or chakra can mean the Mooladhara, etc., different centers. And Arudha means to be established in those centers, the Kundalini Tattva. That also can be cakrārūḍha. Or cakrārūḍha can also mean samsara, and anachka can mean spandarahita. This is beautiful explanation also. Cakrārūḍha means samsara. Samsara cakrārūḍha, one who is established in the samsara chakra. Who is established? There the samsara chakra is established. The substratum of samsara chakra. The wheel of some birth and cycle of birth and death, in which it is established. Okay. Anachka means there is no movement, the momentless state. Because transformation, movement, etc. takes place only in Shakti. Shakti is the one where the spanda, the transformation, the movement takes place. Shiva is one where there can be no transformation. If there is transformation or movement or spanda, vibration, then he undergoes transformation, means he becomes anitya, non-eternal. So here, when we say that Shiva is the substratum for the samsara, for Shakti, therefore for samsara, and he does not undergo any transformation. Okay, that is cakrārūḍhamanackaṃ. That is one interpretation of beautiful interpretation for cakrārūḍhamanackaṃ. Then, in a state where there is no pronunciation of anything, there is no pronunciation, there is no chanting of anything. That is the state. Or the final questions, śaktisvarūpam va. What is śaktisvarūpam? It is prashanta ashesha kautilya suspashta śaktisvarūpam. When all the kautilya means kutilata means the crookedness. When all the crookedness means of word and form, name and form. So all the crookedness of name and form, the association, attachment with the name and form, subtle or gross, when they are dissolved, suspashta śaktisvarūpam. There is a clarity in the form of Shakti. Are we talking about that? Meaning, when there is no pronunciation of anything, there is no association with the word or form, then the state of para which exists, that is what are we talking about? Parāshakti. Are we talking about that Shakti? Which is actually the state of samana. In Unmana, there is no Shakti, there is only para, the absolute. There is no Shakti. The Parāshakti is the samana state. Okay, the Mahamaya, we call it. That's the state we are talking about. Okay, now, next 5 and 6, she is giving this idea. Beautiful this is. Parāparāyāḥ sakalam, aparāyāśca punaḥ, parāyā yadi tadvatsyāt paratvaṃ tadvirudhyate, nahi varṇavibhedena, dehabhedena paratvaṃ niṣkalatvena tadbhavet. Parāparāyāḥ sakalam, aparāyāśca punaḥ, parāyā yadi tadvatsyāt paratvaṃ tadvirudhyate, nahi varṇavibhedena dehabhedena paratvaṃ niṣkalatvena tadbhavet. The introduction to this sloka is a beautiful thing. We'll read that. Jaya mahamantra tachakti mukhena api vimrushya evam sarvotra anuttara parāshakti mukhena api vibrashtumah. See, Devi now, after explaining it through the mahamantra and its object, mahamantra and its virya or shakti, the name and form. After talking about that, now beyond the name and form, whatever that is, to explain in that state, in that form, she is asking this question. Mahamantra is name and the Shakti is form. Okay, virya is form. Now, parāparāyāḥ sakalam, parāyāśca va punaḥ. See, there are 3 states we saw. Para, parāparā, apara. Para is a non-dual state. Parāparā is a semi-dual state. Apara is dual state. Okay. Simply said, para means Shiva. Apara means parāparā means Shakti. Apara means Nara, beings. Meaning, the para is absolute state. The parāparā is a mixed state of absoluteness and the inertness, the consciousness and the inertness. The apara state is an inert state. Okay. Now, in another way, para is a state without attributes. It is attributeless, formless state. Parāparā and apara is a attribute and form. We saw this. Why does Bhairava have a form or not? We said, yes, he has a form. But then, no, don't worry. He has a form that is for blessing he takes the form to perform the final 2 activities of nigraha and anugraha, to censure them and to guide them in a proper way. So that is why he takes the form as a leela, as a play, to bless us. Okay. Now, See, formless is his true nature. So the parāpara and apara, they have forms. They have attributes. But para does not have attributes. Does para also have attribute? If para also has attribute, then how can it be para? How can it be supreme? How can it be absolute? If it also has attributes, then it cannot be absolute. Okay. Now, whether it is the duality of a name or duality of form, you cannot accept it to be para. Because there can be no duality of name or form in the para, because it is a niṣkala. It is a attributeless. Since para is attributeless, there can be no duality of name or duality of form in the para. Okay. So this is the question. Now, what is para? He is giving another explanation. Para means swatantri shakti. There is a shloka from Tantra Loka, which is swatantri shakti, independence, independent power, independent. Shiva is independent. He is not dependent upon anything for his existence. Shakti is dependent upon Shiva. The Nara, the humans or the beings are dependent upon Shiva. There is no doubt. So that is, and parāpara is a state of semi-duality. Why? Because this is where the desire for creation comes into existence. Until then, there is no spanta, there is no activity. Only when there is a form of association with this, in the transformation in the form of Shakti, then there is a creation. Okay? And apara is the cakrārūḍha we call it, meaning the creation. Apara is a state of creation. Para is a absolute. Parāpara is a Shakti. Apara is a creation. Okay. Now, the question is, if is the parāpara and apara, are they all sakala with attributes? Yes. Wait. If para is also accepted as attributed, then there is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is, are you talking about real attributes or implied attributes? You accept it to be attributes to imply something else. Because we said that for the sake of blessing us, he takes the attribute. If you are implying that, then that's a fine thing. There is no issue. But if you accept it to be real, then there is a problem. What's the problem? How will you differentiate para from apara and parāpara? Because they all have the same common thing, which is attributes. You cannot differentiate all these three. This is one problem. If you still accept it to be attributed, then accepting it to be superior, great, attributeless, and accepting it in the same sentence as attributed is contradictory. So it cannot be so. And in the introduction itself, we saw, in the introduction, I said the introduction was a commentary. I read it first time. I read the commentary. Shastakratam, Swayam, Bhairava, Nīlapitati, in the form of blue, white, etc., different colors and all that. We saw that. Okay, similar idea is presenting here. See, varṇavibhedena sitādibhedena, sitādina aksharūpena cha. Varṇavibhedena. What is sakala? What is kala? What is kala? First, we have to understand. What do you mean by attributes? Varṇavibhedena, she said. Varṇavibhedena. Any varna. Varna means it can either mean color or it can mean the alphabets. The white, etc. colors. Sitadi means the white, etc. colors. Or the aksharas, the alphabets. Etc. alphabets. Akara, the alphabets. Okay. Varna, nama, name. And dehabhedena, the difference in the body, which is a akriti visheshena, the difference in the forms, like the deities, human beings, animals, etc. This is rupa. Nama Rupa, the name form is what is said as kala. Dvadashantadi sharirasthana vishesha ashrayatvena, or a state, a place, name, form, or a place, causation. This place, name, form, place, object. Meaning from the 12 inches place, 12 inches, Dvadashanta means at the end of 12 inches, whether it can be heart or above the head. Above the head is beyond the body, but it is in association with the body. We are not talking about without association with Dvadashanta, whether you are talking about the heart or we are talking about above the head, it is from the Ajna Chakra. We said this. So, in relationship to body. So, a relationship. Nava paratvaṃ prakrushtatam bhavati. In any kind of these association, whether it has association with name, form, or some other limitation, that cannot be para. Para means prakrushta, superior. Apitu kalana shunyatvena, then how can you call it as para? That which does not have any kalas. Kalana means any attributes. That is what is called as para. Sakalatve tu tadbhavati iti asambhavyam eva. Accepting the para to be sakala or sakala to be para, prakrishta, superior, is impossible, improbable. Okay, so para is a superior, is attributeless. Parāparā and apara are attributed. Now this is understood. Now the Devi is asking, this is the final question. This is where Devi stops. Now what does she want? Evam samagrāgamartha hridaya vimarshina vicārena abhimukhikrita prāyatatvārtha samvid Devi. Now Devi presented whatever is her heart content, she presented. She is of the nature of knowledge. So by presenting her heart, by expressing whatever is in her heart, she turned Shiva towards her. She attracted the attention of Shiva. A good question attracts the attention of Guru. So a good question attracted the attention of Shiva. Now, after attracting his attention, she is Devi Swam Sampurna Vijnana Bhairava Swarupatam Avikshu. To ask the doubt regarding her inherent nature, which is not of the nature of Shakti. Vijnana Bhairava Swarupatam, of the nature of Vijnana Bhairava. To understand that, to gain the identity with that, she is asking this question. What is the question? The 7th shloka, one line we are taking. Okay? Prasādaṃ kuru me nātha, niḥśeṣaṃ chindhi saṃśayam. Prasādaṃ kuru me nātha, niḥśeṣaṃ chindhi saṃśayam. Hey nātha, O Lord. Prasādaṃ kuru me, mahyam prasādaṃ kuru. Bless me. How? Niṣkalatvena chindhi saṃśayam. Saṃśayam niṣkalatvena chindhi. My doubts eradicated completely. That's the idea. Please bless me by eradicating all my doubts. Oh Lord, this is what I pray for you, from you. Okay, now, what does she want really here? So, explain that, he says, the commentator says, Maya Mahamaya Kalushya Prashama Nirmaligritam Samrupam Mama Prakaya. Please show me my inherent nature by clearing off the impurities of Maya and Mahamaya. The impurities of Maya and Mahamaya. We said the 9 tattvas, Navatma, there we said 9 tattvas. Prakriti, Purusha, then Pancha Kanchuka, the 5 Kanchukas, the 5 limitations. And then the cause for that is Maya. And Shuddha Vidya is the one which removes that, we said. Shakti. Shakti is the bridge between Shiva and the creation. Okay. Then Ishvara Tattva. Then Sadashiva. Then we said Shiva. Now, Shakti Tattva is also referred to as Mahamaya. That is also an impurity. Only there the vibration starts, the creation starts. Okay, so by removing the impurities of the state of parāparā and apara, by removing the states of Maya and Mahamaya, please show me my inherent nature. Okay, now, niḥśeṣaṃ chindhi saṃśayam. Please eradicate my doubt completely. What is the doubt? What is doubt? Kimayam, kimayam, kimidam, kimanyata. That is the form of doubt, he says. The kind of this. Is this one or is that one? Is this one or is this one the truth? Or is that one or that one the truth? Or something else? That is the form of doubt. So these doubts, please eradicate it completely. This, that, or other, completely without any residue. Prasādaṃ kuru. Prasādaṃ means bless me. Meaning, oh, now you become liberated. No, that is not what we are talking about. Even when we talk about Shiva, he is not even blessing his consort. He says, what does, and she knows that also. She is not asking for his blessing to get rid of it. She asks, what is prasadam? Prakarshena asadanam. Gaining it very perfectly, very nicely, without any doubts. What is that? To get established, to establish things without any error. What does that? Bheda. Why is that? Bheda apasaranena avheda upatya swatma ikyata pratipadana yuktim virachaya. What is prasada? What is the grace she is asking about? She wants him to explain the logic to gain the non-duality, to gain the identity with him by getting rid of all the dualities. That is exactly what she wants, to give her the logic. Because Sadguru, Sadagama, Sattarka. You go to the right guru and read the right scriptures and use the right logic. So these three should be there. So she is asking the right, she found the right guru. Now she understood the agama also. Now she wants the right logic to understand what the truth among all this is. Okay? Now, Kuru, please do what? So, nirnayam vada. Explain, tell me the conclusion. What is the conclusion? Evameva paramatrutam saprakasham tadeva me darshya. Means show me whatever is the pramata. Pramata means the knower, the bhairava, which is self-effulgence. Show me, this is what it is. Just that I don't want anything else. Yena darpana pratimbita nyayena swatmani sarvasya antriktata prasangat abheda upatya. See, by showing that, what will you have? See, simple. There is mirror. There is reflection in that mirror. I get reflected in that mirror. So the object which is seen in the mirror as a reflection is different from the reflection, is different from the mirror as well as non-different from the mirror. There is bheda there. So by getting rid of all the darpana itself, I don't want the duality or semi-duality. To get rid of the darpana, by understanding that the inherent nature of myself is Shiva, and removing all the dualities, I gain the identity. Swarupa Vishrante Sarvamidam Machu. When I gain the identity and be established in my inherent nature, then I see everything to be myself. That is the Aikya I want. Okay, we'll see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.